All right. Good afternoon, class. This is Mr. Sadler coming to you live from the internet on Friday being Monday, Monday the 8th of December. So I'm a little under the weather here, so hopefully I'll make a lot of sense when I do this. To the supply teacher, please feel free to hit pause when the video asks you to hit pause, as well if I'm going too quick for people. Please stop, okay, and give the class a chance as well. After every example, please hit pause, or every time I do a calculation. And if the supply teacher and my three lovely assistants can just make sure that all the calculations do actually work out for people, that'll make life a lot easier for me here. So today's lesson is called Sine Law. Okay, so up until today, we have only used trigonometry to solve triangles. If you try to solve triangles that only have right angles, we can solve any triangle by relating the opposite sides together. Opposite sides and angles together. Okay, so we're cutting back to trig here, as you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a new equation on the board here. Whoops, what happened there? Paste. Oops, sorry. Maybe I was not going to paste. Try it down. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened. Oh, there's 100 of them down there. Let's delete that one, move that up. We're moving up in the world here. There's a lot of them there. Sorry about that. I wish I could edit this too, but I'm not able to. We're going to move back into trig here. I'm going to give you these equations. And I'm even in fact going to tell you what equation to use for each question. So we're going to use what's called the sine law. Well, hopefully, if my computer doesn't die on me. Okay, which is sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C. So what that means is you take an angle, so for sine A, and you're going to relate it to sine A. That's equivalent to the relationship between sine B over sine B, and that's equivalent to the relationship of sine C over C. This is similar to similar triangles. We're going to do a lot of cross multiplying today, so we'll just use our good algebra skills and be fine. So we're going to say this can this can only be used when you know or can find sides and angles that are opposite to each other. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so take a second to copy that down. For the supply teacher, if you need to give them a moment to copy it down, feel free, and give them a second to, if you have to pause it, go ahead. Why are there more of these here? Oh my goodness, will these ever stop? Maybe not. I think we may just have to keep deleting that. Well, that's alright. I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay, so hopefully we're ready to go here now. Example 1 is going to say find x, find the length of x to one decimal place. Okay, so what I'm going to do hopefully now is copy that over. Of course, it's not going to be there. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's our new triangle. So the whole idea of sine law is that we're going to set sides and angles equal to each other. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully if I can, excuse me, I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with picking my favorite angle, which in this case is going to be 41 degrees. So since it's an angle, I'm going to type in 41. Now, the tricky part for this question is getting what relates to what. So if you have angle 41, what side is going to relate to angle 41? Well, it's the one directly across from it, so it's going to be x. Okay. Then angles go with angles and sides go with sides, so I'm going to think of my next angle, which is going to be 63, and then we're going to think of what what side goes with 63, and that's going to be 11. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the supply teacher to hit pause and make sure that everyone in the class is okay with that first step. Okay, and if not, maybe one of my 3 lovely assistants or the supply teacher can help out there for the first step. Alright, so now we're just going to cross multiply. Okay, so what I'm going to do is x times sine 63 excuse me, equals 11 times sine 41. Okay, so if you remember how cross multiplying works, it's going to be the denominator of the one, fraction multiplied by the numerator of the other. And then I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to say x equals 11 times sine 41 divided by sine 63. And you can do that all in your calculator in one step if you need to. So what I did there on the left was that was x times sine 63. I just divided by sine 63 on both sides. You can do it all in one step in your calculator if you want to. I'm going to type it out for you just to make sure. And that's what I got for sine 41 was that big decimal in 0.8910065248. And that x equals 8.1. Okay, so what I'm going to ask the supply teacher to do right now is to pause the video and make sure that everyone in the class is able to get 8.1 as an answer. Alright, great. We're moving on to example 2 here right now. And you can leave the previous one and you can leave the previous example on there as well if you need to. Example 2 is going to say, find the length of y to 1 decimal place. Okay, so I'll go down here and hopefully find this again. Oh boy. I don't know why this keeps disappearing on me. And it's still fine. Hey, it's finally gone. Okay, so I'm going to do this one right beside again. We have to look for things that are opposite. I'm going to start off doing, the problem is for this one, is that we're going to need our top angle first, because you're going to have y as across from an angle. So what I'm going to end up doing is, I'm going to find theta first. Now put in bracket top angle first. So the way you find theta is that you're going to say, it's going to be 180 minus the other 2. And then you get, that should be 57, if I did my math right. The reason we need that is because when you have side y here, you have to have the opposite in order to get this to work for Sine Law. Alright, so then we're just going to do the same thing as we did above. Whoops. I'm going to pick my favorite angle, which in this case is going to be 57. And remember, sines only go with sines and angles go with angles. Sine 57 relates to y. And on the other side, I'm going to say sine 52 relates to 14. Now, we didn't need to use the 71 here because there's nothing on the opposite of 71, right? You had to use things that are opposite each other. So y, 57 should be in here. And 52 goes with 14. Okay, then we're going to cross multiply like we did before. So that's going to be y times sine 52 equals 14 times sine 57. By the way, if I'm going way too quick, somebody stop me and let Matt or the supply teacher help out here. And that turns into y equals 14 sine 57 divided by sine 52. If you need decimals, you should be able to do this on your calculator just directly, but if you want decimals, you may do that as well. I got 14.9. Okay. All right, that is example 2. All right, hopefully, so far so good. All right, example 3, and this will be our last example here today, and I'll give you guys some time to work on this. Should say this. Find x. We'll just find x. And we'll say the 1 decimal. I apologize about the quality of this video. I'm feeling like crud here now, so I will be back tomorrow unless something happens, but I will be back tomorrow. So here we go, if I can rearrange. Alright, so we're going to say, excuse me, once again, we need theta. So I'm going to say theta is going to be the top angle. The reason I say we need that is because x matches with 71 and y matches with 42, but 13.4 doesn't have something to match with. Okay, so in order to get a match with that number, we're going to have to do that. So I'm going to do the same thing we did last time. Oops, or not. Sorry. Excuse me. So theta is going to be 180 minus 71 minus 42, which would be 67. Okay, so then we're going to match up just like we did before. I'm going to say so oops, let's scroll up so you guys can see. Excuse me. Sine, where are we? 67 over 13.4 equals sine 71 over x. Now it's important that it has to be 71 because 71 is the angle that matches with x. Again, taking a look, they're directly across from each other, so 71 matches with x, 13.4 matches with the unknown angle, which is theta, excuse me, and 42 matches with y. Then I'm just going to cross multiply like I've done so many times already today. X times sine 67 equals 13.4 times sine 71. To finish up, we're going to say x equals 13 times sine 71 divided by sine 67. Alright, everyone take a minute here and calculate this out before I give it to you. And then we're going to do a giant choice assignment for the rest of the period. Okay, so that should turn into x equals 13 times sine 71 divided by sine 67. And you got x is 13.8. Great. Okay, so for the rest of the class, you guys can get started on your choice assignment. Please take advantage of the help. To my 3 lovely assistants there, please feel free to help out on this. The questions I leave, they should be able to get done in class today. If not, it will turn to homework for tonight. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.